Hello. I hope you're all having a good day. It's 5:42 on Saturday, January 20 or January 6th, 2024. I I've been reading about mystics lately. I'm not ready to share what I'm reading, but it's making me more like hungry to connect with God. Anybody can read the Bible. Anybody can learn a text. Anybody can, I don't know, learn what hermeneutics is and I don't know, theories and all that crap and philosophy. But the mystics focus more on connecting with God. And then I like Joel Goldsmith. He considers himself a mystic and some other things too. And he talks a lot about oneness. He talks about God as the great I. I think that was really popular back in the 40s. And just sitting there and saying, okay, God, the Lord and I are one. God, you and I are one. Just like Jesus and you are one in John 15. And then you and I are one, and just meditating on that and just trying to focus on that. And honestly, I have a short attention span. It's I don't know how people could just meditate for hours, and I want to, and I don't know. And my mind wanders, and they say with a lot of practice, it gets better. My favorite one though to meditate on is the story of Moses, Miriam, and I like this story. I can't remember where it's at right now, but Miriam and Aaron were talking about Moses' wife, Zipporah, and she was darker color. She was probably black, Ethiopian, and they were judging her, and God comes down and rebukes them. And he says that I speak to Moses face to face. So, and that turn, and so, I like that story because it shows that God is not a racist. I always say God wasn't white. God's not any color. He was a color of water. He was clear. I read that in a fictional book and I stick with that, but I mean, he doesn't care. He doesn't put one race above the other. And I like that, because of the fact that I don't think people use that scripture enough when it comes to racism and, to prove that God wasn't racist and that God wasn't a white God or whatever. And I'm white, or whatever the color may be, that God rebukes people for being racist. And I think it's just, if I can remember the story right, Miriam got leprosy for a couple days or something like that. God punished Miriam and Aaron for saying that, and I mean, it wasn't a long-term, he didn't kill him, but he kind of showed his wrath a little for them being racist, and I love that story. I don't know. But I always love that term. I speak to Moses face to face. And I think it says I think it's in Deuteronomy also. It's not just in that story. God talks about speaking to Moses face to face. And I love, I'm in my Torah portion, I'm, right now I'm at, in the beginning of Exodus 1 and 2, where Moses is born, and and then he flees Egypt, and then he marries Zipporah, and and that's where I stopped my reading today. It was about there, and and God calls him with a burning bush. But you get past the trials, the frogs and the, I don't know, locusts and the water and the blood, and you get past that part and you get to where Moses goes to Mount Sinai, and that's my favorite part of the Bible. And I hate saying that because you would think my favorite part of the Bible would be about Jesus, but really it's about that intimacy between Jesus and between God and Moses on Mount Sinai. How they're writing the 10 commandments together. They're having communion, and there's a scripture where Moses wants to see his face. He's like, well, you can't see my face, but when I pass by, you can turn and see my back, and so but I mean, just and just that alone was a lot for God, just to reveal part of him physically to Moses, not just spiritually, and what I like about the mystics is that there's a lot of superstitions about the mystics, and I keep I keep bringing up when I Google mystics video games, and I'm like, really, but Frank John of the Cross and Teresa Avila, and like these people were like, most of them were Catholics and nuns and monks that just really got super close to God, and just reading about their relationship with God is just very inspiring to me. And now I'm rambling, and we're going to talk more about that. And once I study more about it, I still don't know if I even got the grasp of what being a mystic means. I know it means a lot to just talk to God like I'm talking to you right now, and knowing he's listening. Like, I know somebody's going to listen to this video sooner or later, but I don't know. So I'm still studying on YouTube videos and Googling stories, and maybe I'll buy some books, maybe not. But once I get more of a grasp on it, I'm going to talk about it more in these videos. Anyway, I didn't even get to the scripture I was going to read out of my complete Jewish Bible. But anyways, I'm going to stop here. You have a good night.